Alright, yeah, welcome back to Magic Duels. This is the second episode for our Drain Control deck. Let's not waste some time, let's get into the game. See you there. And we are in, so our opponent's on the play. We've got some really expensive cards in our hand and not enough lands for me to be confident enough to take this, so I'm going to throw it back. This one's good. We have our retreat if we hit our land, we have card draw if we hit our land. Double black if we hit grasps. I think that's probably the best thing. We hit languish in case we need a panic button as well. So our opponent's blue-white and their name is Fey Tremede. I don't know how to pronounce that. It sounds French. And I am not a Frenchman. So he has a Jace. So he's going to be able to start looting with that. And we do have a suppression bonds to lock it down once it does flip. Can lock it down now in its current state, but I don't think we will. Okay. He's playing control. So in response to his control, we play the worst card in our hand. And he gets countered. No, he's just drawing cards. Interesting. He's going to give us some more information by the card that he discards. It's going to be an island, not information we needed. Loots from Jace. Down to 3 cards in his graveyard. He may be able to flip his Jace on his next turn. That's another land. He's got plenty of lands. I think maybe he feels a bit confident that his Jace is going to carry him this game. And that's why he's throwing lands away, because he's not... Well, maybe he's just flooded. Flooded I'm going with, because that makes me happy to know. Declaration in Stone. Wonderful. That is far better than the Emissary ever was. Does mean he's going to flip his Jace, though. If we hit a land, we lock it down without any consequences. Oh no, he does have 2 mana up. Ooh. Go and play some up. Play something. Just gonna tick it up. Okay. We hit our land. So Suppression Bonds is the card to play. But is it just gonna run into a counter spell? And are we buggered after that? Well, we can always hope to get Gideon out afterwards, because I'd rather have a Gideon out than a suppression bonds on his Jace. Let's try lock it down. And it resolves. Okay, he does not have a 2 mana counterspell in his hand. Either that or he has some way of removing that suppression bonds. Sphinx's tutelage. Ooh. Okay. Well, he didn't have a 2 mana spell this time. Does he have one now? Nope. Okay. Let's get a 2-2 out there. Get a land out there. We don't have much time. Tutelage is going to destroy us if we don't get rid of it soon. And those aren't tutelage destroying cards. Double tutelage. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Alright. Drana's Emissary. Right, I think... Let's sack the clue. See what we get. We want... Yeah, that looks about right. Play everything based off that. And Obnixilis is nice. I'm just thinking about plussing Gideon and then getting the Emissary out and start aggroing him out, because we don't... With double tutelage triggers, we're going to struggle. So attack with all, attack him. Do we Emissary or do we Hagra? Hagra doesn't do anything on the turn. So Emissary does 2 damage guaranteed with the drain on our upkeep. We're attacking for 9 on our next turn, barring some sort of removal, which isn't going to happen on our turn. He's getting 4 triggers off that though. We are getting aggressively milled. They look to be all lands. Virtually all lands. Couldn't ask for better. Which means our real answers. Still not got a real answer, still not got a real answer. We're looking for isolation zones. He gets a planar outburst. Okay. So we're only attacking for 5 this turn. Let's see. Plus Gideon, attack for 5. Nixilis, get ourselves some card advantage. Problem is with Obnixilis, he's only good for drawing cards, and we're being milled quite aggressively. So I don't know. We've lost a lot of lands to the graveyard, so I'm not convinced that the retreats are going to be that great either. Well, let's plus Gideon now. Just the Wind, I believe, is a sorcery speed, so we don't have to worry about that. I think Disperse is the next bounce spell up that's an instant. Okay, so he's at 8. I think we get a retreat down because he can't counter our lands being dropped. And we hit for 5 and 6 if we hit a land. He has still not hit our isolation zones. That's incredibly surprising. But he's going to get 4 more triggers off of that. If we hit a land, actually, I think retreat does it. I think. 5, 6, 7. Maybe not. Maybe not. Well, it's about time to find out. Retreat. Does it get countered? Does not. Plus Gideon. Play a land. Give him +1/+1. Drain 1. Get him to 6. So he's at 1. So any land we draw is a victory. As long as Gideon lands this blow. Okay. Land is a win. Gideon getting to attack again is a win. Can he get the 14 cards off the top of our deck now? It's quite likely he can, I'll be honest. Because he gets 2 triggers off of the 5. But that's only... Is it 2 cards? Yep, 2 cards per... If we get really unlucky, he mills us entirely. Dropping a counter spell. Interesting. Is that it? Have we got the victory? Ah, if it's a Disperse, I'm going to be so upset. Oh, no, continue playing. So we can... No, if we read the bones, we die. I was going to say, we could read the bones, see if that's a land off the top and win that way, but let's not do that. Thank you very much. Swing for the 5. Judging by our opponent's scooping, I imagine that is the victory. It came incredibly close. Alright. I'll see you guys in the next game. Okay, and we're back. So the opponent's on the place. We are drawing a card. 4 lands, plenty of stuff to play. Can't see why we wouldn't keep this. It's not great. Doesn't do a great deal. Not for our deck's purposes anyway. But we'll see what we can do with it. And we have a turn to draw into it as well. So he's playing blue. Lightly multicolored since he's got an Evolving Wilds. Okay, we'll just lead off with a Swamp. So we can Swamp next turn and then have a Grasp of Darkness online. Turn after that, Dragon's Emissary or Read the Bones, depending on the situation. Our opponent is Herv Krauser, rank 6. So in theory, should be alright. It's another blue-black deck. Been seeing a lot of these recently. Okay, so Swamp, Grasp of Darkness is online. Not that we want to use it against the Rancid Rats. Perfectly happy to take that 1 damage all day. So all we need to do really is either get on the board with the Emissary. Blue-black zombies maybe? Is this a zombie rat? It is. This makes a zombie as well. So I think it's blue-black zombies. And that gets exiled from his graveyard, so it's doing us just fine being on the battlefield. Okay, I'm gonna read the bones. Want to get our retreats up as soon as possible. And do we want to take any of these? I did not click that, thank you. No, let's not take any of them. We need to get a retreat. We do find a retreat to Emiria. That'll do. That'll serve our purposes. Drana's Emissary. Get rid. Probably the worst card in the deck. Needs getting replaced with Anguish Unmakings, Sorins, stuff like that. Considered putting Tamio's Journal in this deck, actually. Builds up card advantage. And it also allows us to tutor as well. Thing is, we don't have any investigation cards that get us clue tokens other than the journal itself, so it would be 3 turns after turn 5 before it would be online properly, so that's why it's not in right now. So we're just going to retreat since his shields are down. Is this a... No, I thought this was a vampire. So once you discard a card, you transform it into a 0/1 that you can then pay 3 to make it a 4/4 after it's been not blocked. It's pesky. I wouldn't call it a problem just yet, anyway. So our opponent is going to be swinging for 7 on this turn. Which makes me hope that we have some sort of removal. It's another Tormentor. It's 4 mana to do the full transformation, so I mean, I'm not too afraid. And he does have to discard through it. Languish right now would be glorious if we have the time. If we retreat and Evolving Wilds, we can make enough blockers for all 4. Gives us more time to find the Languish. So put out 2 1/1s. We're not going to crack it to get more 1/1s to block these 2. Because we want to hold it up for the 4/4s next turn if we don't hit a Languish. Plus it's a blocker for the next time round as well. So if we don't hit the Languish on the draw, then we've got to play the Languish on the turn after the Read the Bones if we hit it that way as well. That's unfortunate. That's 7 damage, isn't it? Well, we are going to have to crack it now. That's hurtful. Okay, let's get some 1/1s. So we block that. It's 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So he's forcing us to block this one this time. So we're only going to block what we need to block because a board wipe's the only way out of this. So just do whatever we can do to not die is the play at hand. Isolated Chapel. Yeah, we need the double black up. So we're going to play it now. Get 2 1/1s. That might have been a misplay. Not sure. See, we don't have 4 mana. Do we even survive this? No. You can't even survive that attack. Isolation Zone means that we block there, there, and there, and we only take 1. I think that's what we're going to be forced to play. And let's tap it like that, so we've got the Grasp of Darkness open. It didn't want to let us Grasp of Darkness, but I changed its mind quite quickly. That keeps us alive one more turn. And Languishy likely folds under, since he's low enough on cards. Issue is we have Read the Bones now that we wouldn't be able to... That's tap creature and don't untap, isn't it? Is that the game? 3 damage? No, we're fine. Okay. You gonna swim with everything? He is. Right. I should have grasped the darkness in response to the attack, actually. Because now I have to block out fear of dying. Like so. Whereas I could have blocked his Skulker if I'd have done it before the attack, so that was a punt. And he hits a land. Let's blow this guy up on his end step, because we won't be able to do it on ours. We are dead, unless we draw something nice. That keeps us alive, but we can't read the bones to get out of it. If Emissary sticks around long enough, then we'll be able to gain the life necessary. But will we? Will we be around long enough? It's not uncommon for us to be in this situation and still win. So now he's questioning whether or not he should attack. Because I've got some nice trades here. 2-2 for a 2-2, 1-1 or a 1-1. And then I can just chump all day with that. As long as I keep hitting the lands necessary anyway. He's just weighing up how he can win. If he can win. Okay, so he's going to attack. Going to bounce one of our creatures, and that's going to be the game. Yeah. No point in blocking. GG! If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to leave a like. If you loved the episode, be sure to subscribe. And if you're not quite sure, stay for the end card, see what we've got to offer. And as always, I'll see you later.